the architecture of the Andrew system looks like this. There are client workstations, which are called virtues, and these client workstations are connected by insecure network links to a local area network. And through the local area network, they can access servers S1, S2, S3, and so on. And these servers are in a secure environment, or in other words, accessing the servers from a client workstation uses insecure links, but once inside the boundary of the servers can talk to one another, exchange information, grab data from the disks, and so on. This communication that happens inside this server environment is a secure communication. That's part of the reason they've named the server environment as Vice, and the client environment where you're accessing information from the secure servers as the virtual workstation. And the important thing to note is the fact that the clients have to access information from the server over insecure links. What that means is that in order to make sure that information that is sent on the wire to the servers or received from the servers to the clients, they have to be encrypted, since anyone can sniff the packets that are flowing on these wires. But inside the Vice, the communication that happens among the servers, because it is secure, there is no need for information encryption. The client workstations run some flavor of Unix operating system. So inside each client workstation, there is a special process called Venus, and this process, which runs on the virtual workstation, is for the purpose of authentication of the user and for client caching of files that the user may fetch from the Vice servers into the workstation that they're logging into. The user will use RPC in order to get the files that they want to work on the workstation, and this is where Venus comes in. Venus is the one that authenticates a user walking up to a virtual workstation to the server and then acting as the surrogate for the user in fetching the files that he or she wants to work on from the file server using RPC. And since I mentioned that the link that is used to communicate between Virtue and Vice is insecure, the RPC has to be a secure RPC. Or in other words, the RPC messages, both passing the parameters and receiving the results, is going to use encryption on the data that is being sent and received between the Virtue and the Vice file server.